you guys heard me ask this to Waz, but you guys have done really well here in the last couple of years in the postseason. Just how do you feel like you guys, both as upperclassmen with experience here, how do you feel like you guys take your games to the next level in the postseason? Either way.
I think you got to remember we're just playing a 9-inning baseball game, and can't let the moment or the environment get to you. You got to go out and do your thing and play the game that you play every day. And so I think that's when postseason comes. That's a super important thing. A lot of guys can get gooned out and their play goes down, but if you can just stick to what you do, you'll be fine.
Yeah, I think Walsh said it good. You just got to keep it the same as if it's regular season. It's a 9-inning baseball game. Bases are still 90 feet, mound 60 feet 6 inches. Game doesn't change, so you just can't let the moment get too big.
Back middle, Brett. Kind of speaking of what Walsh kind of said towards the tail end, just speaking about the veteran group being kind of the glue to this team. Can you kind of speak on this season, how maybe the both of you have helped kind of hold the team together, maybe at times where maybe things weren't going as well, or your play wasn't up to par where you wanted, and how proud of you of not only each other, as teammates, but the rest of the squad as well for holding it together and getting to this point where you're a number 12 seed nationally heading to this regional play?
I don't necessarily think it's us that have held the team together. I think everyone on our team can hold anyone accountable, and that's what's super important. And so when I'm not at my best, anyone can come up to me and tell me that, and when someone else is, then I can go and tell them, and I think that's what we're really close as a team, and I think that helps us a lot.
Yeah, I think the ownership piece is really big, making sure guys are holding each other accountable and you're holding yourself accountable. And when guys do that, like we've been doing all season, you're gonna be in a good spot like we are right now.
Back to Jared.
For Jacob, this is potentially the last time here at PK Park for you this upcoming weekend. Just what's that going to mean, and how are you going to try to use those emotions to your advantage here this weekend?
Just try to enjoy it, be able to take a step back during some of those games and look around and just enjoy where I've been. The last 4 years have been awesome, and I think I've done that a few times this year. I've kind of during a pitching change or in the dugout, kind of just look around, look at everything and take it all in. It's pretty cool.
Back right, Aaron.
I guess question for both of you, kind of in different ways. I'm interested to know how you guys perceive when there is when you are playing at home and it is a sold out crowd and it's really loud. How does that help you, and how do you not necessarily get distracted? Because I can imagine that being an opponent playing in an environment like that is a difficult thing. But also, how does it help you? How does it help a crowd? Because I know Waz talked a lot about how the Jane was, the crowd had a big influence in that. So I'm interested to know maybe Grayson on the mound, how does it help you? Then Jacob, when you're at the plate, how does that help you?
We saw it against Nebraska in the Big Ten tournament. Only an hour away, they had, probably 8,000 people there, and being on the other side of it, it's definitely I would say uncomfortable feeling seeing all those people. They're all rooting against you, and so being on the other side of it, that when those fans are on your side, you're in a good position. The other team is feeling very very uncomfortable playing at your house, and it's a comfortable feeling on the mound, especially knowing that all those fans are behind you and the guys on the field trying to help you win the baseball game.
Okay. We've been on both sides of it. Playing at A&M last year, that is probably one of the best crowds you can get, and so many times at home. Oregon State this year, Super 2 years ago. It's kind of just about controlling the energy of the stadium. You can't let it take over. You got to just stick to your game and stick to what you do, and And, your fans, when good things happen, the energy starts to come and it just builds momentum, and that's huge. You see it in every sport. Momentum's a real thing, and I'm excited to be able to have that this weekend in front of our fans.
Jared on the left.
For Grayson, just tough outing against Nebraska. First time allowing more than 3 earned runs since the end of February. Just how do you try to bounce back here? Hopefully, game ball on Friday night.
Yeah, just treat it like every other game. Can't have a perfect game every game. You just gotta take the good and the bad from every start. Try not to look too much into it, and just see what you can learn from it, and move on to the next one. And go back at it on Friday, hopefully.
Joey on the right.
For you, Grayson, I'm curious, similar with the crowd, like when you're on the mound and it's a home crowd, what do you want from the crowd? How can the crowd help you?
Yeah, I mean, same as like Walsh said at A&M in Nebraska. I mean, you got that crowd riled up and loud. I mean, the batter in the box is going to be really uncomfortable, and having that kind of energy and being loud when you're on the mound, it adds another sense of comfortability and confidence to you on the mound that I think every pitcher loves to have.
Back middle, Brett.
For each of you guys again as well, Grayson, if you can kind of start, just what exactly has made this season for this program and for you guys different? Why has it been more special or more different than potentially in previous iterations that you two have both been a part of in the past?
I'd say we have guys leading the charge that have done it before. 2 years ago we hadn't been to a super regional since I think it was 2012, and now we got guys who have been to 2 straight. So we got guys on the field that know what it takes and are hungry for getting back, because we know the feeling of what it was like to lose 2 in a row, and we don't want to have that feeling again.
Yeah, I think we've set a standard here the last couple of years, and that's to win ball games. And all the new guys coming in have really taken a hold of that, and I think we've done a good job of not taking the wins for granted, but knowing that's what we do. Like, if we're not winning ball games, there's something wrong and needs to be changed. And yeah, I think we've just kept going with that.
Back to Jared on the left.
Grayson, have you given any consideration to the MLB draft yet?
I haven't looked too much into it. No, just trying to stay focused on the task at hand.
Anything else? Ryan in the middle.
Jacob, going back to the crowd part of it, when you're at the plate, it's a 3-ball count. Just how can the fans put pressure on an opposing pitcher, and then what do you feel in that moment?
All right, I've been thinking about this a lot, and obviously, let's take a step back. Autzen, it's one of the hardest places to play in the country, right? And it's because it is so loud the entire game. So I think, in baseball, if we can bring that over to PK Park, like when we're on offense and we have a 3-ball count, maybe we get a little, third down Autzen O yell going or something like that, or with 2 strikes. I think that really, it's not fun to play in that, and that could be good for us this week. So, I mean, anyone in the crowd, if you want to do that.
Yeah.
Back right, Aaron.
Kind of going off what you said before, just about the accountability. We've seen a lot of players in and out of the lineup have a lot of offensive success this season. Just knowing that you have that depth going into the postseason, where if a guy does have a bad day, being able to throw another guy in there that is, shown that they can also have that experience and step up to the plate. How does that kind of also help you too, just to know that you have the offensive weapons to be able to put people in and out of the lineup?
It's pretty awesome to see, in that this last travel trip we took, I think every single position player you can throw in any spot, and they're going to do well, and we're confident that they'll do well. And so, knowing that, it kind of takes some pressure off of guys who maybe aren't rolling right now, and just to know that, like, the rest of the guys got you. We can win ball game. If you have a bad day, we can still win a ball game. And yeah, so it's pretty sweet to be able to do that.
One more, Aaron in the back.
And for Grayson, just going back again to how much this pitching staff has improved throughout the season. We've obviously seen it, in games, but what have you kind of seen from the pitching staff as a whole, the confidence that has kind of grown, knowing that, game to game, like there's got to be people that are able to come in and close out games. Like, how have you kind of seen the confidence grow in preparation for this moment?
Yeah, I've seen a lot. There's been a lot of maturity from the younger guys who necessarily didn't come into the season with a lot of experience, and they really leaned on the older guys. Myself, Seth Maddox, Jason Wrights, Ian Umlant, Cole Stokes, Ryan Featherston, guys who have had innings and meaningful innings at this level. They've really leaned on us, kind of picking our brain, just trying to figure out things that work for them so they can go into the game and have just as much as confidence as the guys who have already done it. And I've seen it a lot, and there's been a lot of growth and maturity from the younger guys, and I think that's why you see the success on the mound.